All right, so we welcome both of you at the platform of Olympiad Success. So would like to know how are you feeling? So quickly type it in the chat box that how's the day today? How's the weather there? And along with that, you need to mention from which school and city you both are joining us. Finally, I would like to inform you that in demo class, you will be on mute, but in upcoming session, you will be able to interact with the mentor freely. As in classes, we don't keep students on mute, okay? So you can ask your questions freely. Just in demo, if anything you want to ask and we want to communicate to you, we will be going to communicate via chat box, okay? So either you have to use gestures or you have to type messages in the chat box. And your each and every query will be answered there and then on. Hope I'm clear to you. Show me thumbs up on the screen if I'm clear. Great. All right, so Karen is doing good. Kagesh is doing pretty well. Nice. So type it in the chat box from which school and city you both are joining us. So quickly, meanwhile you're typing, I would inform you the flow of the session. As you know, your mentor is already here with us, so soon you'll be going to meet her. Before that, Megha ma'am will be going to inform few chat links to you related to your course. Then you'll be going to meet your mentor. After that, moving ahead, you will be going to have a glimpse of a short PPT that will be going to provide you information related to your course. Moving ahead with the dashboard tour, wherein you can get to know that how you can have access of your material, right? So I'm still waiting for your answers. You need to mention that from which school and city you both are joining us.
Yes. We all are waiting for their answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Karen is joining us from Alan Juniors, Alan. And Khagesh is joining us from DPS. From which city, Khagesh?
All right. I think she got some internet errors. She left the meeting.
Yes, we have the meeting.
Okay. So Khagesh, we'll be going to just tilt down your camera screen towards your face. We are not able to see your complete face. Yes. So Khagesh, we'll be going to wait for 5 minutes. In case any of the other child join the demo, then we'll continue this demo. Otherwise, we need to cancel this demo. Okay. All right, Khagesh. I'll unmute you. Just a moment. I've unmuted you. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great. We'll just wait for another 5 minutes. So meanwhile, you can tell something about yourself. You have to speak about yourself. Give your introduction.
My name is Khagesh. I'm from DPS Delhi Public School, Bangalore South. I'm new to this Olympiad class.
Nice. So this is the first time that you're joining, right?
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
so
I also have maths and science.
maths and science for same
Hmm?
Olympiad classes.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So Kareen is back. I think we can continue, Megha ma'am.
Yeah.
All right. So Kareen has joined from Line Juniors
Right.
and Khagesh has joined us from DPS Banga South, right? All right, so moving ahead, we would look forward for the chat links now. Megha, can we have a chat links in the chat box?
I hope chat links is visible to each and everyone.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay. All right, kids. So as you can see, the first link is syllabus link. If you know more about your syllabus, just click on this particular link. Payment can be made by just click on this particular link. If you're not enrolled for this batch, just click on this particular link, make payment and enroll for this batch quickly. You can share your feedback at this given particular link. All the batch details are just clicking on this particular link. In case of further queries, you can email us at support@olympiadsuccess.com or drop us a WhatsApp on these two particular numbers. If you find any internet glitch while having this video, we are going live on Facebook. So just click on this link and you can have this video on Facebook itself. So this is all about a chat link. I hope I'm clear to each and everyone. Just show me a thumbs up like this if I'm clear. Great. All right, over to you, Pooja ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So as your ma'am has already mentioned that in case you find an internet glitch and you're not able to join us back via Zoom, so you can watch us live on Facebook because this demo is live on Facebook. All right. Hello, Aram. Welcome to the class. So Aram would like to inform you that you will be on mute in demo class, but in upcoming session, you will be able to interact with the mentor freely. Okay, so this setting is meant just for the today's class. So now I will not take much time because your mentor is already here with us and I'm pretty sure that you're excited to meet your mentor. So she's a wonderful mentor. Her classes are very interesting and engaging and she loves to interact with kids like you. So all over to you, Anjali ma'am.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am,
Thumbs
you
up?
are.
Okay. So my name is Anjali Joy. My native place is Kerala. Currently, I'm working as a high school teacher in Rajasthan. So I have been working with this Olympiad success team from last 2 years, and I have taken multiple batches for science. Okay. So I am very much excited and eager to interact with you all and help you in this experiential and interactive learning, which not only prepares you for just the Olympiad exams, but also for other school level, state level, national level exams as well. Okay, so today you will be on mute as ma'am has already discussed, but in the upcoming sessions, we will keep you unmuted and you can interact with me. So if you have any query, you can directly ask me. Okay, so it will be a journey together where we will work together so that we can be achieving good results. Okay. Thank you. Yes,
All
Pooja
right.
ma'am.
Yeah. So moving ahead, I'm sharing my screen with you all and we'll be going to have a look on the PPT. All right. Hope my screen is visible to everybody. So as you know, Olympiad Success is India's largest preparation platform, which provides school plus program, including subjects, mathematics, English, science, logical reasoning, communication, Vedic maths, and coding. So we do offer different classes for different boards, for different preparation Olympiads, like SETSMO, SEMO, HKMO. These are our international Olympiad examinations. So you can meet our rank holders on the screen. They are kids like you. So you can also become a rank holder. For that, what you have to do? You have to just spare 2 hours every day extra from your regular study, that you can work hard and you can score well, then you can become a rank holder. So what all you're going to get in this classes? Session will be group sessions. The classes will be group sessions with around 20 students delivered through Zoom platform by a seasoned tutors. Session will be 3 days per week. Days will be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Timing will be 5 p.m. to 6:15 p.m. with 5 minutes of break. So what all you will be going to get in this? You'll be going to get a reading material, practice questions, which will be available at the dashboard. Soon I'm going to give you tour for the same. So these all are the relevant links. No need to worry. Links have been pasted in the chat box and will again be pasted in the chat box. So fees for this course is 8,032 rupees. It will be 32 session course. Payment can be made by clicking on this particular link in case you have not enrolled for this batch. So what are you waiting for? Quickly click on this link and we'll see you in the classes. So what all you require for all these classes? Just a laptop or desktop with good internet connection, a good camera for better picture clarity, that you should not miss anything what your mentor is going to write on the whiteboard. Along with that, good headphones for better audio clarity, that whatsoever she is speaking, you'll understand it clearly. So your regular classes are going to start from coming Tuesday, that's 27th of August. So you can see there in 23-24, there are more than 5,000 school students who have participated in Olympiad success. So let me take you through dashboard now. Just a moment and we are good to go. Hi, welcome Hitarth. All right, so what you have to enter, students, you have to just enter this URL olympiadsuccess.com. After this, you have to just enter the user details. These are those details which you will get it while the time of login, enrolling for the particular batch. Just a moment. All right, so I was at the login. So you have to just log in and you will get details on your screen. These are your profile details. Check your details. In case you find any error, you can rectify it and you can update it over here. After this, click on live classes, select your subject and topic, and here you go with the material. So you can see everything is completely systematically designed for you. Schedule is there for your reference that you will get to know in which session we're going to go with specific topic. Along with that, holiday calendar, following with the reading material and practice question and answer keys. So I'll show you for the schedule first. So each and every PDF is downloadable. For that, what you have to do, you have to just click it here on the top, download the PDF. So you can see after completion of every chapter, there'll be test discussion for you that in case you have any doubt in particular chapter, you can clear it from your mentor, right? So in last, there'll be super classes. So in super classes, you'll be going to practice previous year papers. So here is a holiday calendar. For your reference, that you can plan your days accordingly. So here is a reading material. So you can see material is completely crafted for you according to the level of Olympiad exams in detail, right? So you can get a complete understanding, knowledge of each and every concept. So in this way, you have so many sets. So I have shown you one set as of now. Same ways, I'm going to show you one set for question paper and answer keys, as we have to begin with the demo also. So I recommend you to just download the papers, take out the printout, solve it, and then check your answer keys, right? In this way, there'll be good practice for you. So here are the answer keys. So best part of our platform is the moment you will complete your question paper, you can check your answers that how you have performed. So there'll be no delay in that the result will come and you will check. No. So you can check immediately that how you have performed. So here is the worksheet for your practice. So there are so many worksheets. Again, you have to select your subject and here you go. So click on take exam. Read your instructions, select this icon, start your worksheet. And you can see there are 25 questions in your worksheet. So you make sure that you attempt each and every question carefully. Let's say I've attempted first question and in second question I have doubt. So what I'll be going to do is I'll be going to mark this question for select and mark for review, right? Means that when I'm going to submit my worksheet finally, so I can review this question once again. So let's say I've done with my third question and this way I'll attempt all my questions and I'll be going to submit my worksheet. But before submitting, I'll be going to check my second question, which I have marked for review to fill the correct answer, right? So yes, click on next, finish your worksheet, submit it. And here we go with the best part again. You can check your performance also for this worksheet. That how you performed. Select your subject, click on performance, select your subject. And you can see here we have attempted this worksheet just now, and I'm going to see the performance. Click on view button. 3 questions I've attempted, all are wrong. Okay, so you can click on review also. So here you can check your performance, that how you have attempted. So that's all about dashboard. If anybody is having any doubt related to the dashboard, course, or chat links, we'll be happy to answer all your queries. Type it in the chat box. Yes, Aram. What you want to say, please tell it to my mother. Any specific query is there from your mother's side, Aram? I'm unmuting you. Yes, Aram, speak.
Excuse me, ma'am. You were saying about the enrollment. Can you please tell to my mother that I don't understand?
Sure, you can just pass on your mother's number in the chat box. I'll take it from there and I'll inform my team to coordinate with her. Okay. Hope that works for you.
Ma'am, I'll tell this.
Sure. Anybody else is having any doubt? Hey, Suhani. Hi, Tharth. Hey, Geetha. Please turn on your camera. Okay. So, Geetha, there'll be a little, we have to continue with the demo. So any particular thing you want to know before that, I'll let you know that what we have done. We have pasted a chat links, right? So Megha, can we have a chat links once again for the short glimpse for Miss Geeta? And then I have shown them a PPT related to the course along with the dashboard. So dashboard, I think when we'll have a class, so I can give a dashboard tour once again. So that will be completed over there. So links Megha ma'am is pasting just now. And PPT was again having a course details only. So class days and class timings. So Hani, please turn on your camera. I request everybody who are sitting with the cameras off, please turn on your cameras. It will be great if we'll see each other and we'll coordinate. All right. So what are your class days and class timings? Type it in the chat box. I'm waiting for your answers. What are your class days and timings for this particular batch? Okay, so I'll show you PPT once again, Ms. Geeta. Just a moment.
I guess Geeta joined late.
Yeah, she has joined late. She has mentioned already. So these all are the rank holders. So this is the main information for you, Ms. Geeta. There'll be group session around 20 students delivered through Zoom platform by a seasoned tutors. Class days will be 3 days, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Timing will be 5 p.m. till 6:15 p.m. with 5 minutes of break. The session will include mix of theory, practice, question, doubt session, and so on. So dashboard tour is there for the same, wherein they can have access of the reading material and course details. So these all are the relevant links Megha has pasted in the chat box. So fees for this course will be 8,032 rupees. It will be 32 session course, Ms. Geeta. So they just need a laptop or desktop with good internet connection, a good camera, and better headphones for better audio clarity. So the regular classes are going to start from coming Tuesday, that is 27th of August. So this is all about the course. So hope you are clear with your query. Yes. Is it recorded or live classes? These are live classes. Any other query? Wait. So yes, students have mentioned absolutely correct. Class days will be TTS. It will be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Timing will be 5 p.m. till 6:15 p.m. I think we are good to go with the. Sumitat, you can calculate your days. So session will be 3 days per week. So you can calculate when the session will be going to get over. Approximately, you can say around 3 months, 2.5 months. We can say if we go without break, right? So I think Anjali ma'am, we can continue with the session if they don't have any doubt.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, all right, ma'am, all over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, so I'll share my PPT with you. This is a demo PPT. Okay, I have just included the important points. So today we will be discussing about plants. You might have studied about plants in your earlier grades, right? So just type in the chat box, what are the previous information you know regarding plants? Okay, what do you know about the nutrition of plants? How do they obtain their food? Then what are the qualities which are in plants, but where animals are lacking those qualities? Then what are the parts of the plant? Types of plants, plants in different regions. How are they different from each other? Any idea about any of these topics? You can just type it in the chat box. I just want to know what do you know about the plants so that we can proceed. Yes. Siddharth, can you switch on your video? Yeah, Khagesh. Any idea about plants? Karen? Have you studied about plants? What have you learned? So how they are able to prepare their food? Any idea? Are they living beings? Are they living beings? Yes or no? Yes. So Khagesh is saying yes, they are living beings. That means they undergo all the process, like they have nutrition, they undergo respiration, excretion, reproduction, all the characteristics of living beings. Only one thing is missing, that is they do not do locomotion. They cannot do movement from one place to another. But since they are able to grow, we are able to identify that they are living organisms, right? Okay, fine. Can you see my next slide, parts of the plant? Is it visible? If it is visible, show me a thumbs up. No? Yes. Parts of the plant. So, in this class, we will be discussing what are the different parts of the plant, like roots, shoots, leaves, flowers, and fruits. What are their structure and function? What are the special process? So in this special process, we will be discussing about a term called photosynthesis. Have you heard of this term, photosynthesis? Yes. Okay, and then we will be learning about adaptations. Adaptations in plants means the plants are different, right? If you see a plant in a polar region or in a mountainous region or in the forest region, near the coastal areas, in the desert, they are all different. So these are adaptations in plants according to the climatic conditions, according to the region they are surviving, they will be different. Okay. What is the need for adaptations? How do they grow? Growth factors in plant, impact of climate. Then what are the users of plants? Now plants are considered as producers. Producers means they are able to prepare their own food, right? We are consumers, human beings, herbivores, carnivores. We are all dependents or consumers, right? We depend on plants or we depend on other animals for our food. But plants are producers. So they are the source of food or they are the source of energy. They have medicinal values also and various other uses or benefits also we get from the plants. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss. Can you see my third slide? Here you can see a picture of the plant which is not labeled. Is it visible? It's not labeled, but this is a general structure how the plant looks like, right? So you have a root system here, which is below the soil. Most of the time it is below the soil, so you are not able to see it. Then you have the stem or the shoot system, which grows above the soil. Okay. Now different types of stem are there. Some are very weak and slender, soft stem. We call them herbs. Some are little bit thick. They are shrubs. Then there are very hard stem like bark of the trees when they turn old, right? Some stem are very weak that they either creep on the ground, they are called creepers. Some stem, they are not able to stand properly, so they take the support of other rigid objects. They are called as climbers. So based on the stem, there are different categories of plants. Now these green structure, this is called as leaf or leaves, right? They are actually the kitchen of the plant. They are the place of the plant where they perform the process of photosynthesis. We will be discussing about photosynthesis soon. And this is the region where the food is made, right? Then flowers, the most attractive part of the plant. Flowers have many uses, like they are used in making perfumes, they are used in making colored pigments. Flowers are used in reproduction because from the flowers, they turn into fruits, and from the fruits, they turn into new plant. So here you can see a bud, right, which has not developed into a flower, but still it is in the growing stage.
Anjali ma'am, I think there is only first slide on the screen. There is no third slide. So if you can just check your settings once again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a second. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yeah, so this was what I was labeling. So, okay, once again, I'll just show you that this is the root system that grows below the soil, right? Then this is the stem region as discussed. There are different types of stem in different types of plants, but the stem region grows above the soil. Then the green structure called as leaves, which perform the photosynthesis, which perform the actual process of making food. Then you have the colorful, attractive part of flowers, which help in reproduction, which help in making perfumes, colored pigments, which also attract insects for pollination, which produces nectar. Then you have this bud, right? Bud is still the flower is being protected inside a covering that is called as bud. That means the flower has not bloomed. Right? So this is the basic structure of the plant. Okay, so roots are having connection with the soil because through the roots, plants will take up the water, the minerals, right? And then they will transport it to the stems. Through the stems, it will reach to each and every region of the plant. Similarly, there are transportation system in the leaves because leaves are preparing the food, but the food has to be transported to each and every part of the plant. So from the leaves, the transported food, the food prepared could be transported to different regions of the plant. Okay, so we will be discussing about them as well. Can you see my next slide, root system? Types of root, tap root, fibrous root. Is it visible? Show me a thumbs up. No? Okay. Okay, fine. So now let's discuss about roots. Okay, different types of roots. The two most general types are tap root system and fibrous root system. Have you heard of these two terms, tap root and fibrous root, or have you seen them? If you have tried to pluck out grasses or some or the other kind of plant, have you noticed their roots? Yes? No? So this structure is called a tap root, where you have one single large straight root that is called as the main root or the central root, and through it small roots are growing out horizontally in different directions, right? This will grow vertically downwards, and through this secondary roots will go in different directions. So there is a main root in the center. And this is like fibrous root. Fibrous root means there is no main root or central root, right? They are all similar. Okay, Khagesh. Yeah, Khagesh. So you are hearing it for the first time, taproot and fibrous root system? Fine, Khagesh. So next time what you can do whenever you are in a garden or whenever you are in a park, right? You can just pluck out some grass and just check them. So grasses have fibrous root system. You will see there is no central root, no main root. Different hair-like structure would be coming out from the end portion of the grasses. Okay. And for the taproot system, actually herbs such as rose, when it is in the growing stage itself, you can plant it on, or carrots, right? Carrots are a taproot system. You can see the carrot, that is the root part of the plant, which is edible, right? Carrot, beetroot, it's the central part. And you can see small hair-like structure growing out of those. Carrots, radish, okay, beetroot. So the central part is the food collecting part or the storage part, which is edible, and the hair-like structure which are going towards in the different direction, they are the secondary roots. Okay, so in taproot you have main root as the central one, and in fibrous root it is absent. Is it clear? Then there are other modifications of root based on their functions. So first, primary function of the root is to anchor the plants. Anchor the plants means support the plant, hold the plants firmly to the ground, because plants don't do locomotion, right? They are not like animals. They cannot go from one place to another. They have to be stationary. And this is the reason that roots provide them the anchor. Roots provide them the support, so that they would stay connected with the soil. Otherwise, if they are uprooted, then they won't be able to absorb water and minerals from the soil. So that is the first function of the roots. Second function is absorption of water and minerals, right? They don't have a specific organ like mouth, like in human beings or animals, by which we can drink water, right? So they don't have those specific organs. So roots are the organs which would help in absorption. Roots have connection with the soil. Whatever rainwater is there, or you are watering the plants, you will add the water into the soil, right? And the soil will first absorb the water, and then those water molecules or the water molecules will also dissolve minerals. You are adding fertilizers, you are adding manures. It will get dissolved in the water, and through the water, the roots have small hair-like structure that will absorb, like how straw is used to suck when you are drinking juice and all with the help of straw. So straw will help you to suck that juice or liquid, right? In the same way, roots also. Just give me a second. Okay, so roots also help them in absorbing the water and minerals. So this is the primary function. Primary function means this is the most important function that is done by the roots. Okay, but this is not the only function. They have secondary functions also. What are the secondary functions? Edible roots. So roots store food in them. Whatever food plant is preparing, they will use that food for their energy needs. And the excess food will be stored in different root regions. It can be root, it can be stem, it can be leaves, it can be flower, it can be fruit, right? It can be seeds. So roots are also edible. Like just now I said carrot, beetroot, turnip, radish, they are all edible roots, where in the roots itself, they are storing the food, the carbohydrates, and then as animals, as consumers, we can consume, right? Then what is the next function? Aerial roots. So at some places, the roots are not getting sufficient oxygen, sufficient water, right? They are not, because oxygen also they require, they do respiration like human beings, they undergo respiration also. So there they will develop aerial roots. Aerial roots means roots will be seen outside the soil, right? You can see them outside because it is for absorption of water. It may be for absorption of the minerals, right? They are not able to get sufficient. So the roots are hanging. Okay, prop roots. We call them as prop roots, aerial roots. Okay, like in banyan tree and all, It gives them a support system. Like in mangrove plants, plants which grow in marshy regions where the soil is very wet or have so many nutrients that there is no sufficient air supply or oxygen supply in the soil, that they are not able to breathe properly. They are not able to do respiration properly, right? So there you have aerial roots which grow out of the soil, which actually help them in getting air. Okay, and then the one more function is soil conservation, right? So if plants are not there, if roots are not there, then soil can be easily removed. Soil erosion, landslides can occur, right? Because the top layer of soil is very light in weight. So with the action of wind, with the action of water, it would just be removed. That will cause soil erosion, that will cause landslide. Right? So presence of roots, presence of plants actually help in protecting us from soil erosion or preventing soil erosion. Right? So the functions of roots have been divided into two categories: primary function, which is the most important function, and secondary function means which can be shown in some plants, right? Not necessary that secondary function will be shown by all the plants. So all the plants don't have an aerial root or edible roots, right? So it is a property which is specific to some plants only. But primary function is present in all the plants. Can we move forward? Thumbs up? Yes? You understood primary and secondary functions? Fine. Can you see my next slide? Here I'm showing you aerial roots mainly. Okay, so aerial roots, they are specific to some plants. And how do they help? They help by absorbing water from rainfall. They help by absorbing air directly from the atmosphere. And they grow in regions where they don't get sufficient amount of air or water, right? It can be due to insufficiency of obtaining the water and nutrients or air from the soil. It can be due to giving a support to the plant, right? It can be in search of water, excess of water that the plant is not receiving. So there can be different reasons for that. So most of the root system is below the soil, but there are some exceptions where the root system grow outside the soil. That means you can see them outside in the atmosphere, and which is called as aerial roots. Another modification of roots, aerial roots modification, is pneumatophores. Now this will also be a new term for you. Pneumatophores, it's another term for aerial roots. So you can see these are mangroves, right? They grow in marshy areas, which is full of water and nutrients, and the soil is very clayey. Okay, so there is not enough space in between the soil, and there is no air, sufficient supply of air. And when they don't get sufficient oxygen, the roots grow out of the soil. And these kinds of breathing roots, also we call them, because their main function is to take oxygen. So we call them breathing roots, or another name is pneumatophores. So this is also a modification, a different feature that is present only in some specific plants, not in all. The roots help in respiration also. Okay, so this is their secondary function, not the primary, because most of the respiration they will do from the leaves and the stem. But in some plants where they are not getting sufficient oxygen, like mangroves which grow in marshy regions, okay, there they would help in respiration. Breathing roots or pneumatophores is the name of the term. So P is silent here, we call it as pneumatophores. Is it clear? Shall we proceed? Okay. Then another modification of aerial roots, buttress roots. Can you see this image of buttress root? Can you see this particular slide? Is it visible? Okay. So buttress roots are also a modification of aerial roots only. But here the function is not for taking oxygen or not for taking water. Here the function is to provide a mechanical support. Because the upper portion, the shoot portion of the tree is very, very heavy and strong, right? So to support that lower portion, that anchoring the support, there has to be balance, right? So if the top part is very heavy, then the top part will bend and fall down. So that is why the roots start growing out of the soil. So they have roots inside the soil also, but large roots on the sides also grow out. And their function is to provide a support to the tree because the tree's top part is very heavy and very strong. So to give this physical support to the overall stem part, shoot part of the tree, the roots start coming out. So here also you can see the roots are coming out parallelly out of the soil. They are visible to you, right? So that means they are aerial roots because they are not growing below the soil. There are roots also, but you can see some of the roots are growing out of the soil, above the soil also. So here you call them as buttress roots. Okay. Okay. So now let's discuss about stem part. Stem is a part of the shoot system and it grows above the soil, right? You can see the stem of the plants because it is a region that is growing above the soil. Now different kinds of stems are there. Trees have very big, strong, hard stem. We call them bark, right? They don't have a green colored stems. The stem are very old and dark in color and very hard. Then you have shrubs which are not very thick and hard. They are small in size, medium sized, but they are harder than the herbs. Herbs are with very soft, very weak, tender green stems, and they are very small in size. So these are the smallest, these are medium-sized plants, and these are tall plants, right? Then we have two more categories, climbers, where they have weak stem. So they take the support of any wall or any other plant which is growing nearby, and then they would climb on. Okay. And then you have creepers. Now creepers are also very weak stems, but they cannot climb also because their fruit part would be very heavy and they are not able to climb or take the support of other plants. So in those plants, the stem actually does the work of creeping, right? Creeping means how the snake moves, right? How the snail moves. They would just grow along the surface of the ground. So that is why we call them as creepers. So these are the different categories of stem. Trees, shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. Is it clear? Can we move forward? Okay. Good. Okay, now let's learn about a new term called as chlorophyll. I don't know whether it's a new term for you or not. Have you heard of this term chlorophyll? Yes? Yes, so Khagesh is saying yes. So chlorophyll is the actual green colored pigment which is responsible for green color of the plant. So first thing it does is it gives the plants or the leaves the green color, right? So it's a pigment present in the leaves of the plant. Now this pigment has one more role, that is it helps in trapping the sunlight, right? So chlorophyll actually absorbs the sun's energy, light energy, and then converts it into chemical energy, which can be used for the following reaction. photosynthesis reaction. So if chlorophyll is absent, green colored pigment is absent, then no sunlight absorption would take place, no photosynthesis will take place. Right? So to trap more sunlight, the upper surface of the leaf, because the leaves are held like this, right? So bottom surface is not receiving much sunlight. The upper surface is receiving more sunlight. So more color chlorophyll pigments you can notice it is on the upper surface of the leaf. When we see through a microscope, we would see that upper surface of the leaf would contain more chlorophyll. Okay. But you will ask that in some plants, they don't have green leaves, they have red colored leaves or white colored pigmentations is there. Okay, that doesn't mean that chlorophyll is absent, right? It means that other pigments are much high in amount, that the green colored becomes dull in the presence of them. So white colored or red colored pigments are more. So still chlorophyll is present, but it's not visible properly. So that doesn't mean that chlorophyll is absent in them. Chlorophyll is present with other colored pigments, and that is why its effect or the color is not seen on the leaves. But there are some plants that lack chlorophyll. That means they do not have chlorophyll at all. We call them as non-green plants. So green plants are able to prepare their food, but non-green plants are not able to prepare their food. Okay, so we call them as saprotrophs. Saprotrophs. You will be studying about them. Okay, so saprotrophs are non-green plants which cannot prepare their own food. Green plants are called as producers, which can prepare their food. Non-green plants are saprotrophs. They do not prepare their food, but they will absorb the nutrients or the food from the dead animals and leaves. Like scavengers, in animals you call them as scavengers, right? In animals also you call them as saprophytes or saprotrophs. So same like scavengers they do. They feed on dead and decaying animals and leaves. So they are non-green plants. So if they lack chlorophyll, they are not producers. They do not do photosynthesis. They are called as non-green plants. So this presence of this green pigment is very important for the photosynthesis process. Yes, Khagesh, do you have a doubt? Okay. Any other doubt in this particular slide? Fine. Okay. Now, have you heard of this term stomata? Yes or no? Yes, Khagesh is saying yes. So stomata is also important. They are the small holes or tiny pores which is present on the under surface. Now on the upper surface of the leaves, you have chlorophyll, right? So stomata you have on the under surface of the leaves. And this is also visible under a microscope. How they are important? They are important because to exchange gases. Because from the roots are only absorbing water and minerals, right? And some roots are also absorbing oxygen as well. But there should be continuous exchange of gases, right? Because they are doing respiration. For respiration, they require oxygen. For photosynthesis process, they require CO2. So roots are not sufficient for exchange of gases. So that is why, like how we have nostrils, nostrils help us in intake of oxygen and giving out CO2. So same, the role of nostrils is done by stomata. So stomata is like nostrils for the plants, which would help them in exchanging gases. Then if you see the image of the leaves very carefully, you can see fine network of lines. These are the veins. Like how you have veins, arteries in your body below the skin through which blood is flowing, right? So same veins are present in the leaves, and this tube-like structure helps in transporting water, minerals, and food. Okay, so this food items will be dissolved in the water and minerals, and with the help of veins, not only in the leaves, Veins are throughout the plant's body. Okay, so from the roots, stem, from the stem to the leaves. Similarly, food items from the leaves to the stem and to the roots. So veins help in transporting food, water and minerals from one part of the plant to the remaining parts of the plant. Okay. So this is the role of stomata and leaf veins. Now let's come to the most important topic, that is photosynthesis. Right? This photosynthesis process is done by only green plants, because green plants will have the pigment called as chlorophyll, right? So they are able to do this process, and this process is a chemical reaction which happens in the presence of sunlight, because chlorophyll will trap the sunlight. So photosynthesis happens only in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. What do? They take water from the roots. They take CO2, carbon dioxide from the leaves, from the stomata, in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, right? So green colored leaves only can do this, and presence of sunlight is required. Photosynthesis will not happen during the night time, right? No photosynthesis is occurring during night time. Only during daytime it is occurring. So what will happen? Water and carbon dioxide will react and will form glucose. Glucose is the actual food for the plant. Plus, will give out a gas called as oxygen. So that is why plants are important to human beings. First thing, they give us food. Second thing, they give us oxygen, right? We cannot prepare oxygen. We can only inhale oxygen, but plants can give out oxygen. So if there are more plants, there would be more oxygen in the atmosphere. There would be more food in the earth environment. And the food and oxygen can be used by human beings, can be used by other animals. That is why plants are very important. Because this process of photosynthesis not only makes food for the animals, but also helps in giving oxygen. And excess of CO2 that the animals are producing is also absorbed during this process, right? If CO2 is present in excess, what are the things that would happen? Pollution would increase, right? Greenhouse effect, temperature of the earth would increase, right? So presence of plants are required so that CO2 can be absorbed, food can be prepared, and oxygen can be given to the animals. So this is the process of photosynthesis, and it happens in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. That means it happens only during the daytime, and it happens only in the green plants. Other requirements are water and CO2. Is it clear? This glucose is used by the plant, and excess of glucose, that means the excess of food that the plant is preparing, that will be stored. It can be stored in the root, it can be stored in the stem, it can be stored in the leaves, like cabbage, right? Broccoli. It can be stored in the fruit. It can be stored in the flower, cauliflower. So from that, animals or human beings can consume that food. Okay. Now let's discuss another term that may be new to you. This is called as transpiration. Have you heard of this particular term? Transpiration. Any idea? This is new to you? Okay, Khagesh is saying yes. Okay, so I'll tell you what is transpiration. So when the stomata is open, when the pores are open, right? Exchange of gases is taking place, CO2 is coming in, oxygen is going out. But these pores are also allowing water to go, right? Water in the water vapor form. So water which is present in the plants is also lost. during this process. This is called as transpiration. Because water is being absorbed by the roots, this water through the vein system would be transferred to the stems, to the leaves, and then finally the water will be escaping out through stomata in the vapor form. That means in the gaseous form. So this is good. Along with that, it has some negative effects also. It is good because it will ensure continuous water throughout the plants. It will ensure that the temperature of the plant is maintained properly. Plant gets enough cooling because of the movement of water. But it has some disadvantage because excess of water loss will create dehydration in plants. Like how dehydration happen in human beings and animals, same can happen in plants as well. Okay, so it's a necessity. Along with that, there are some disadvantages of transpiration. So transpiration is a process by which water is continuously lost through the stomata in the form of water vapor. Is it clear? So stomata has two functions now. First function of stomata is exchange of gases, right? Second function of stomata is transpiration. Right? So two functions the stomata does. It helps in taking in CO2 and giving out oxygen like our nostrils. Plus, it has one more function. That means it gives out the water in the form of water vapor through the pores. So two functions are there. Okay. Now let's discuss about buds. So buds are the parts which develops the actual flower, right? Inside the buds, the flower part or the actual flower is protected. So they are incipient parts. They will be at the tip of a stem or at the axil of a leaf. That means they will be in the margins, right? And they are also part of the shoot system. So they would allow the flower to bloom. That means they will keep the flower protected with sepals. So sepals are there, green colored leaves are there, which are called as sepals. This would protect the actual flower from outside environment, from the sunlight, from the water, from the temperature until the flower is ready to bloom or to grow out. The bud will keep them protected. So it's like a protective covering of the flower or the stem. And they are different in size, shape, and color. So it is a part which will grow into actual flower or stem in the future. Right? And you can see the buds are protected with the sepals. Once the flower comes out of the bud, right, it has different uses. Let's discuss the uses. One of the most common uses is to make perfumes because flowers are very attractive. They have a very pleasant smell, right? This fragrance can be used in making of perfumes. Then they have medicinal uses also. Different flowers, right? Marigold, juhi, clove flowers, hibiscus. They have medicinal uses. They can be used for various treatment purpose. They are used for decorations because they are attractive. They are colorful. They come in variety of sizes, shapes, and colors. So they are used in decorations. They are used in cosmetic items, again with the use of medicinal use and fragrance. They are used as cosmetics. They are used in making certain kinds of tea. Herbal teas are there which uses dried flowers. The nectar which the flowers produces, the sweet, sugary substance can be collected by honeybee, which can be used to make honey. So honey is an animal-based product, but it's actually obtained from the plants, from the flowers, right? And honey also has many medicinal uses, and it is also a very important ingredient in many substances. For creating colors, color pigments of the flowers can be used for making different colored dyes. Dyes means again colored pigments. So coloring the different substances, coloring clothes, etc. can be done using the flowers. And flowers will make fruits. This process is called as pollination. Okay, so this pollination process and all I will discuss in detail in the class, where how the insects or water and wind help in transferring the pollen grains which is present in the flower, and they will only develop into fruits. Fruits are having seeds which can produce new plants. Some flowers are edible, right? Like I said, cauliflower, broccoli, they are examples of flower, banana flower, shahjan flower. Okay, so there are some flowers which are edible. Edible means you can eat those flowers because the excess food in those plants is being stored in the flowers. Is it clear? Okay, so I have come to the end of this session. This doesn't mean that I have covered all the topics since it's a demo session. So I have tried to cover most of the topic. Okay, so in your actual class, there will be proper topics given according to the schedule. And then according to that, I'll be discussing the topic. And by the end of the class, we will solve the worksheet. So worksheet will consist of 15 to 20 questions, right? So here I have just selected 2 questions as a worksheet for you. Okay, so you can answer these in the chat box. So first question is, you can see an experiment with a plant. So after that, the plant was placed in a dark room. Okay, so first the plant was placed in a dark room for a few hours, and then you placed it back in the sunlight. So you perform this iodine test. Any idea of iodine test, why it is used? Okay, I'll tell you. Iodine test is actually for testing the starch. That means the food of the plant. From photosynthesis, plants will prepare food, and if starch or the food is prepared in the plants, this iodine will show a blue-black color. Very dark blue color that is called as bluish black color. Okay. So they are asking that they kept it in dark room, then for 6 hours they kept it in sunlight, and they have done iodine test. Iodine test means it's actually the test for starch, and starch will be present in the plants only if they have done photosynthesis. So which leaf will show a proper result? Leaves with black or regular green leaf? What do you think? Black strip in the middle, there was a leaf with black strip, and one was regular green. Okay, so Khagesh is saying it should be option number 2. What about others? Karen is also saying option 2. What about remaining ones? Hitarth, Suhani. Okay, the correct answer is regular green leaf. That is option number 2, because the leaf with black strip is covered with a black paper. So it was not able to absorb the sunlight properly, right? So since it was not able to absorb the sunlight properly, it was not able to do the photosynthesis process. No photosynthesis means no starch. No starch means no positive result in the iodine test. So iodine test is for the photosynthesis or for the starch present. And since only green leaves, regular normal green leaves can only perform. So that's why it's wrong. Okay, Hitarth. So option number 1 would be correct. Sorry, option number 2 would be correct. Regular green leaves. Second question, you can see here X and Y 2 plants. Okay, here you can see the pictures of the 2 plants. So both of them, they don't have leaves, but X can make its own food in the stem, whereas Y has to depend on other plants and animals for nutrition. So which one is X, which one is Y? So what is X and Y? From the picture, can you identify what is X and Y? You can type your answers in the chat box. X is cactus and Y is mushroom. Okay, so Khagesh is saying this is X, cactus, and this one is Y, that is mushroom. Yes, cactus is a desert plant. Yes, Karen, you are correct. Cactus is a desert plant. So it will not have leaves because in the desert already there is scarcity of water. Presence of leaves will cause transpiration, right? Transpiration would lead to loss of water. So they don't have leaves, but they have green stem. So in the stem, they have chlorophyll pigment and they can prepare their own food. So cactus can prepare its own food. It will come in green plants only. Whereas Y, you can see mushroom, right? Mushroom is non-green plant. It does not have chlorophyll, so it cannot perform photosynthesis process, but it has to obtain food. So it will depend on dead plants and animals, right? So it comes in the category of saprotrophs. Whereas cactus come in the category of green plants and it is a producer. Okay. So X is cactus. It can make its own food even in the absence of leaf because stem would help in photosynthesis, green colored stems. And Y is mushroom. It is non-green. Mushroom would take plants, dead plants and animals, nutrition. Okay. So here we come to the end of the demo session. Okay, I have not cleared all the topics in detail because since it was just a demo, okay, so I have completed the chapter, but actually our chapter will be divided into 2 or 3 classes. So in one particular class, we will be learning only about root system. In second class, we will be learning only about shoot system. And in the third class, we will be learning about leaves. And then we will have a test discussion separately. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so hope you all enjoyed this demo session and you got an idea how it would work like. We will also solve worksheets in the classes. And after one particular chapter, we will have a test. You will attempt the test and then I will discuss the answers with you. I will tell you why this answer is correct and why this was wrong. Okay, and then after the completion of all chapters, we will have super classes. In super classes, we will be discussing previous year Olympiad papers, which was asked in the year 2021, 22, like that. Okay, so we will be discussing that as well. And any other personal doubts you have, you can discuss with me in the class, right? Because the class will be interactive, you won't be in mute, so you don't have to type answers much, right? You can directly raise your hand and I will allow you to speak. So that will be how our actual class will go. Okay, any other doubts regarding this particular session? If you have some other doubts, you can type your doubts in the chat box. So how was the session? Did you enjoy? Did you understand the topics? Okay, that. Okay, then if you don't have any further queries, shall I end the class? Okay, so once again, a reminder, our classes will be on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So before 27th of August, all of you please join the class. Enroll yourself. Okay, so goodbye everyone and take care. Bye-bye.